Okay, guys, grade 8, welcome back. And today, inshallah, we're gonna start in section 2 of chapter 3. We start talking about minerals. So, in this section, we are gonna know how to identify a mineral. That means how we could differentiate between different minerals. In the last section, we already know that all minerals are sharing general characteristics. That means all minerals must be solid, must be natural, okay, or that means they already formed by natural process, not in lab or it's not artificial, and also they must be or they must have a fixed chemical composition. They have a crystalline shape. So they are these all these are general characteristics. All minerals are sharing these characteristics. So that means all minerals they will look like the same or they are gonna be the same. Of course not. If they're gonna be the same, so we'll not call them minerals, we'll just say one mineral. But as they are we have different minerals, so of course they have some different characteristics or some different properties that we could depend on to differentiate between different minerals. So in that lesson, we are gonna know or are gonna learn how to differentiate between different minerals or how we could find the different types of minerals. So by the end of this lesson, okay, we should be able to identify 7 ways to determine the identity of mineral or how we could identify a mineral. Number 2, explain special properties of the mineral. So let's see how we could identify the minerals. As we said, different minerals, they have different properties that we can use. The first property ever, okay, or the first thing that is obvious for everyone or that could easily be observed with your eye are the color, okay, or sorry, is the color. So what is the color? Of course, we find, as you remember, okay, in the pictures which are shown last time in your textbook, or even the solid samples which I provided to you, okay, in the classroom, that represent different minerals, we found that different minerals they have different colors, okay. Some of them they have many color in the same mineral, some of them just one color, okay, and like this. So color of the mineral, okay, is one of the most important properties, but actually color is not the only property that I can depend on to identify mineral. Why? Because as we know that minerals have different variety of colors. Even one mineral could have many colors. So it is not a must that each mineral just has one color. Okay, no. One mineral could have many colors. So that's why I can't depend on color as the first property to classify mineral. To give an example, in normal situation, quartz or pure quartz, suppose that it is colorless or it's just okay transparent. That means doesn't have a color. But if there are some impurities that mean some mineral, some elements are involved in its structure, which is not a main part of its structure, because as we know, quartz is one of the silicate minerals, so it's mainly made of silicon and oxygen. But due to presence of different metals in that structure, it may have different colors. So sometimes we could find quartz, the pure quartz is colorless, but some samples of quartz they may appear pink, they may appear purple, okay, blue. So these different colors, okay, or that one mineral with different colors depends or back to the impurities inside. Another example, we have a mineral called pyrite. Pyrite, actually, the common name for it is known as golden, false gold, okay, because it's shiny and appears in the same color like gold. So we thought it's like gold, but actually that's the pure pyrite. If pyrite is exposed to the air and water for a long time, we find that it could turn to be black. So it's still the same element or the same mineral, sorry, it's still the same mineral, but it has different colors. So that's why, or it's hard to depend on color to classify a mineral or to identify a mineral. Is it clear for everyone, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, so like this, when we ask a question, give reason, we can depend on color to identify a mineral. So simply we could say because each mineral may have many colors due to different impurities found in its structure. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here, like this, color is not just itself, but just color could give a hint about what is that mineral. But I can depend on, so I need another property, something I could depend on. So the second property that I could use to identify a mineral is the luster. So anyone have an idea what meant by luster? Okay, anyone have an idea? As you can see in your screen, we said that luster is the mineral, okay, how the mineral reflects light, okay. Yeah, so some minerals are able to reflect lights, okay, or not. What might that mean? Actually, we talk about is that mineral shiny or not, simply, okay. So Here we said that luster, the way that the mineral reflects light. So if the mineral is completely reflect light, okay, on high rate, so we're gonna appear shiny. Okay, so we call this mineral has a metallic luster. So always minerals which have a large amount of metals in their structure, they have a metallic luster or they are shiny. They look bright and reflects light well. Okay, some minerals they have submetallic luster, which means they are not shiny, they are dull, but still reflect some light. Okay, so we call this submetallic luster, and there are non-metallic luster that mean they are completely dull, they never reflect light, so they don't appear shiny at all. So here, like this, the first property that we could use is the color. So we just get a color. So once we find a mineral and we find certain colors, so we say this color could be blah blah blah, whatever the alternatives of mineral that could have this color. But as we said, color is not an accurate property that we could depend on, because one mineral may have many colors. So we must pass to another property, which is the luster. So we gonna check this mineral. Is it shiny or not? Is it shiny or dull? If it's shiny, is it metallic luster? Okay. Or submetallic or non-metallic at all? It's completely dull. So like this also we could find. So we are gonna find, for example, most of the most metal, or sorry, most elements, they are non-metallic. Okay, because as we know, they don't have in their structure that much amount of metals, so they appear to be dull. So still luster is not also a property that we could depend on to 100% ensure this mineral is a certain mineral. So in that case, color and luster is still not enough to identify a mineral. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like this, we still need more properties that we could use to know what is the mineral. So beside color and luster, we have something we call it streak. Okay. So what is a streak? Actually, streak, it means the color of the mineral in powdered form. What mean by in powdered form? That means if we smashed a piece of the mineral and turn it into powder. Okay. So how this powder will look like? So should we smash the mineral? No. We find another way easier to find the streak, or to find how the powder of this mineral look like, or its color look like. So we find that we get a piece of anglazed porcelain. We call it streak plate. Okay, it's a piece of, or a plate that have a white color. Okay, made of porcelain. Okay, so and we get the mineral and we start to streak, okay, or start to scratch this plate by using the mineral. So we find that the mineral will leave some of its powder as a scratch on, or as a mark on the plate. So by looking to the color of this mark on the plate, we could find what the streak of that mineral. Actually, the streak of the mineral, okay, or the streak is not always the same color like the color of the mineral. For example, we may have a mineral that's look like, for example, black, but once we scratch on the streak plate, we find that the streak looks like brown, or sometimes dark red. So it means here the streak was completely different, okay, than the color of the mineral. And sometimes the streak may look like the color of the mineral. So here, streak could give more hint, okay, about the mineral, the identity, because the streak color, it represents the actual color of the mineral. What mean by actual color of the mineral? Because as we said in the first time, the color could vary due to different conditions that it could expose to. As we said, in pyrite, it's supposed to be like gold, but if it's exposed to water and air, the factors of rust, it may turn to black. So the powder of the color doesn't expose to or represent the internal color of the mineral, which means it doesn't represent the color of the external surface. So the internal part doesn't expose to these factors, so it will represent the accurate or the real color of the mineral. Okay, so like this, here we have three properties till that moment, okay, that we could use. First one, who can remind me what the first property?
Color.
Okay, what the first property? So let's see. Yes, Hannah Hamdi.
Color.
Color. Okay, so could we depend on color only to determine the identity of a mineral?
No.
No. Why?
Because some minerals have different colors.
Excellent, because one mineral may have many colors because of the impurities that could found in it, or even to because it may change its color due to the different conditions that could expose to. Okay, so color is not enough, so we need another property. The second property was, okay, yes, Kinsey.
Luster.
Luster. What meaning luster?
Luster is the way of the mineral reflects the light.
Excellent. The way of the mineral that reflects light. Good. Okay. So
And there are 3 types.
yeah, there are 3 types. Good. What are the 3 types?
Metallic,
Yes, metallic.
submetallic, and
Metallic.
non-metallic.
Metallic.
Metallic.
Metallic. Yes. So metallic, submetallic, and the non-metallic. Okay, to represent how much light are reflected. So like this, that's also good. But as we said, it's not that okay. Or luster is not enough also to identify the mineral. So we pass to a third property, which is, yes, Maya.
Streak.
Streak. What mean by streak?
The color of the powder of the mineral.
Excellent. The color of the powder of the mineral. Okay. So how we could get the streak of a mineral?
By rubbing the streak against a streak plate.
It's 8 o'clock.
Excellent. Okay. So we can get the streak color by wrapping the mineral against streak plate. Okay. And we're going to find the streak color. So streak color, should the streak color be exactly the same like the mineral color, Fadia? Fadia?
No.
So they may have different colors. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So like this, okay, we know there are 3 properties, okay, or that the 3 properties till now that we could use, okay, to identify mineral. So if I know a color, the luster, streak, somehow like this, okay. Yes, Judy, do you want to ask a question?
لا, I wanted to answer بس خلاص.
Okay, so regarding to this, guys, as we said, if we know the color, luster, and streak, so we have somehow a good evidence about what this mineral is, but still they are not enough. We need more, okay, properties that could identify. So let's find something that easily differentiate between large number of minerals. So we have the fourth property. Fourth property we have, we call it, okay, the cleavage and fractures. What mean by cleavage and fracture? Okay, so anyone have an idea? Cleavage and fracture. Do you know what mean by cleavage? Just in English, or fracture. Okay. Yes, let's see. Yes, Fadia.
No, I was raising my hand for the any question before.
What do you think? What's cleavage and fracture? What do you think?
I don't know, صراحة.
Okay. So, anyone have an idea? Anyone know what difference between fracture and cleavage? Do you find at the English word even? Maya, yes.
Cleavage is the ability of a mineral to break against a flat surface. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Actually, cleavage it means that something that could break on a smooth surface. That means break into pieces, but these pieces once they spread, they left a smooth surface behind. Okay. But fractures, okay, it means they are gonna break down into pieces, but with not regular or smooth surfaces. Okay, guys. So the same here happened in a mineral. We said that some minerals they have the ability to have cleavages, okay, and some of them they have fractures. So what are these here? We said that cleavage, that means that the kind of mineral once we try to break it, it always break into pieces and get a flat surface. Okay, so it is the tendency of some minerals to break along smooth flat surfaces. Okay, so once we break them, they give a flat surface. Anyone could give example for a mineral that could easily separate into sheets. Okay, we saw before, easily separate into sheets, look like to be like, okay, pages like this. Okay, yes, Hannah.
Mica.
Yes, excellent, mica. Okay, so mica is the most famous one in that actually mica they could, okay, just separate into sheets, so always it left some flat smooth surfaces. So like this we said mica have cleavages, or once it broke down throw cleavages or make cleavages behind. Okay, fractures is the opposite. That means the fractures, okay, we find that minerals they could break. Okay, yes, my do you ask question?
No, I just wanted to answer.
Okay, So we see that fractures, it's once the mineral break uneventually. That means the mineral will break down and give curved, irregular surface. That means it's not just smooth or flat. It just give it into pieces. Like most minerals, as we know, once just you try to break them down, they give different rough surfaces. Okay, so in that case, they not make cleavage. They make something called fracture. Okay, so like this, guys. Okay, we find that we have four properties. These four properties, we can use them till now, okay, to differentiate between different minerals, but still these four properties are not enough. But as we each property start to minimize the possibilities of that mineral or degrees until we could finally identify the mineral. So first thing we check the color, then we check the luster, then we check the streak, okay, of a mineral. Finally, we find if that mineral gonna break by cleavages or fractures. So all these four properties, they just minimize, okay, the a way to classify the mineral. But still, the four is not enough to differentiate the mineral or to identify the mineral 100% accurate. So that's why we need, or we still need, more properties that we could use to identify the mineral. So like this, guys, that the part of our lesson today. Any hard question to what we explained?
No.
So
thank
good. Let's wrap up what we said, okay, and start to check what you understood. So everyone pay attention. I'm gonna try to ask you now, guys. So let's start here. Who can remind me why we can depend on color to identify a mineral, guys? Who can tell me? Please raise your hand if you know the answer. Everyone must be ready. What about the others? Just Hannah, Judy, Rashwan, and Maya raised their hand. What about the others? Ali, Hala Tariq. Hey, could you share us, please, guys? Why we cannot depend on color only to identify a mineral? Yes, Rashwan?
Because the mineral may have more than one color.
Because one mineral more have than one color. So what do you think? What the reason that could make a mineral have variety of colors? Why one mineral may have many colors? Who can answer the question, guys?
Mister, can you
Yes,
repeat the
Judy.
question?
Again,
Can
Judy.
you repeat the question? I can't understand it.
Again, which part? The color? Judy, you will need to repeat the color part.
لا يعني repeat the question يعني because I can't
We said
understand.
that we can't depend on color as a property to identify or to identify a mineral. We said that because one mineral may have many colors. So the color here is not, or not each mineral has a specific color. So like that, I can't depend on mineral. Maybe we have two different minerals have the same color, or even one mineral have many colors. So we said what the reason that make one mineral have many colors. Anyone know? Yes, Maya?
because, for example, the mineral called pyrite or fool's gold looks like gold, but if exposed to sun, it will turn black.
It's exposed to water and the air, yes, it will turn to black. Good. So like this, we said that may the mineral have some impurities. Impurities, that means some elements that involve in its structure, but it's not a basic structure of a mineral that cause change in the mineral color. Or may the mineral exposed to some conditions, these conditions causing change in its color. Like pyrite, it's supposed to appear like gold, but once it's exposed to water and air for a long time, it turns to black. So like this mineral is not an accurate property that I could depend to identify a mineral. So that's why we passed to another property, which is luster, and we said luster is the reflecting of the light. So we classified minerals regarding to the luster into three categories. Who can remind me? What are the three categories? Yes, Ali?
Metallic, submetallic, and non-metallic.
Yes, metallic, submetallic, and non-metallic. That depends on the amount of light that could be reflected. Very good. Okay. So we said that also luster. So luster and color, they start to minimize the confusion, or they start to minimize, okay, the number of minerals that we could confuse between them. So we get step forward to identify the mineral, but they are not enough. We need more properties. So we have a third property, which is, who can tell me? Any other people, guys? So yes, Kenzie.
A streak
Streak. Okay. So and said that streak is. Who can tell me what a streak
is
is?
a color of the mineral empowered form.
Yes. Okay. The color a mineral in powder say that mean once the color of the powder of a mineral, and we said we got it by rubbing the mineral, okay, or against the porcelain plate or the streak plate. So and we said the streak color may different than the regular color or the color of the mineral. So then we said that the fourth property that we could use is, who can tell me now? Fourth property. Fourth property, who can answer this question, guys? What is the fourth property that we could depend on? Okay, Judy?
The cleavage and the fraction.
Cleavage and fracture. So who could tell me what difference between cleavage and fracture? Yes, Rashwan?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
What difference between cleavage and fracture?
The cleavage and the some minerals break along flat surfaces, but
Yes.
fracture on the minerals break along low irregular surface.
Good, brilliant. Okay. So any hard question, guys, for what about what we explained?
No.
No, thank you.
Good. Okay, so we are gonna stop at this point. So we already studied page 71 of your book. Okay, section 2 of chapter 3. Please study them very well. If you have any question, I'm waiting for your questions, inshallah, in our session. Goodbye and see you next time.